Yes or no? Is UC Berkeley hard?
Berkeley was ranked the #1 public university in 2025, but over the years, it's gained a reputation. Berkeley is hard. Grade deflation, competitive clubs, area culture, startups.
I talk to high school students all the time that want to come to Berkeley, and they often wonder,
What if I can't handle it? Is it really as hard as people say? I had a 4.0 GPA in high school. Will it be hard for me?
what does hard mean exactly? In this video, we're going to explore all of these questions.
First, we're going to interview UC Berkeley students to get a general pulse on campus culture. Then, we'll talk to Jacob and Leah, two very successful UC Berkeley students, about what hard means for them. Then, we talk to a graduate student instructor about academic rigor and whether Berkeley deserves its reputation. And then finally, what do we do about it?
I'm Riley. I'm a third year in EECS.
My name's Gavin.
My name's Grass.
Hayden.
Leia.
Stoyan.
Mika.
Madison.
Yes or no? Is UC Berkeley hard?
I'll just say yes.
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 I think yes.
You bet.
Yes, I do.
I also agree. I do think UC Berkeley is hard.
I think there's always a lot of stuff happening.
I went to a pretty difficult high school. I think the tests were difficult, but I wasn't really studying. But at Berkeley, I think I still get pretty good grades, but like every single test, like I really had to study.
I would be lying if I said no.
It's like, come on, like it's hard. Everyone knows it's hard. It's Berkeley.
Like right now, I'm also taking like numerical analysis, and like I said, as someone who's good at math, I almost felt like I had to delete all the old math, like push all that out of my head to like half understand the new stuff.
I feel like for me, MCB is not a very easy major in general.
Do you think Berkeley was like harder or easier than you expected it would be?
I think it's about what I expected. It's not anything like more hard. I think it's just a lot.
It's kind of just as hard as I expected, but also I think it's a little bit harder than I expected.
It was like a really big switch up. Everyone always tells me like, oh, Berkeley is gonna be super intense, but it's just kind of experiencing that for yourself that you just really see it.
I totally get it. It's hard to like quantify exactly what it means by being hard.
I think it's easy when someone asks if UC Berkeley is hard to say yes. But at least when I was in high school, I would think, okay, but how hard exactly? What does going to college there feel like? And then your brother or your friend who just left for college gives you what feels like some emotional answer. You know, yeah, dude, it's so hard. College is gonna change your life. Oh, dude, it's so much easier. I don't know, for some reason, it's like never as thorough as I would want. That's why we need details. We're gonna talk to Leah and Jacob firsthand to see exactly what hard means for them.
I usually just go along this side, and then I cross like at Stanley.
So, is UC Berkeley hard?
Objectively, yes. Objectively, yes, but I think that means different things to different people. Like,
Totally.
My name is Jacob. I'm a third year studying integrative biology.
oh, I'm a psych major, so I'm studying psychology, but I want to do nursing afterwards.
So, could you list out, if you can just recall off the top of your head, like a list of your current responsibilities?
I'm taking 19 units this semester, which is, and then I'm in AKO, and then I also work for University Health Services Student Mental Health, which is a mouthful.
I work about 15 hours every week. I'm in class around 20 hours a week, and for the rally committee, I'm probably dedicating another 15 hours to that.
Wow, that sounds like a lot.
I usually work anywhere from like 10 to 20 hours. My max is 20 hours.
I'm kind of scared to ask, but you seem super busy. Can I see what your Google Calendar looks like?
It's not color-coded either, which I know is so bad. It should be. Everybody tells you college is harder, but some people tell you that it's easier.
Wow, you got it blocked out.
My parents were like, yeah, college was way easier. Like, you can go to office hours, you can do all this. And I was like, I think if I could have just told myself that I am gonna have to work harder, I think I would have started doing that sooner.
I think, if I'm being honest, a lot of my expectations were informed by movies and TV and stuff like that. Berkeley has delivered on a lot of those expectations, but I also think I was not prepared for the reality of being an adult. Like, living away from home was the biggest change.
Do you think it's ever good that Berkeley is so hard?
Yes, because it might be a hot take. You're taking like some of the top students from a bunch of high schools and putting them in this giant like fishbowl. Like, all of these students, at least for me, kind of just went through the motions of high school. Like, And I personally like a challenge, so I have always been like, you know what, if something is hard, that just means I'm doing something wrong and I need to work even harder because I'm just a competitive person.
So Berkeley's hard, but it's complicated, and it seems to stem from personal choices. Think about this. If you had a 4.0 GPA in high school and thousands of people around you do too, would you settle for easy? Harshit has seen not just one, but hundreds of students go through this. More than that, he's had to shape their journey, deciding where to draw the line between too hard and just right, between an A and a B. What do instructors think about this? Does UC Berkeley deserve its reputation? As a GSI, when you're kind of designing your lessons, how much are you thinking about difficulty?
Well, not really. I don't intend to make the lessons too difficult because I feel clarity beats complexity. So you have to make the lessons understandable for people, and it doesn't have to be like too difficult. So I don't think too much about the difficulty. It has to make sense to everyone.
How has your perspective on rigor in coursework changed since becoming an instructor?
I feel rigor and learning it's not just about intensity, it's also about intentions. Students don't actually thrive when you make things harder for them, but you have to make them make sense. That's when they learn. I generally try to explain every concept right from the fundamentals so that they're able to connect dots well, and that helps with their learning.
What are some common grievances that you've heard students express either about your class or just Berkeley in general, and what do you think about this?
Something that I've heard very commonly at Berkeley is the workload is intense. Yes, Berkeley can be intense, but most of these issues arise when you don't manage your time well and when there's like a lot of pendency of assignments. So I'd say focus on better time management skills, and it should be fine because these classes are designed by subject matter experts and professionals, and a lot of batches have gone through the same process.
If what Harshit says is true and hard depends on the goals and strategies of the student, then what should the student do? What should I do? What should you do?
I am a UHS health worker, so I work with University Health Services.
So, in your opinion, how do you think students should weigh their different priorities, like their grades versus their job or their social life?
Right. That's one of those questions where there is no right answer because it's entirely dependent on the individual. The one person that knows best for you is you. A lot of people will find themselves at college. A lot of people will figure out what they want to do in the future. Some people come in as pre-med, they don't want to do it anymore. Some people come in as pre-law, they don't want to do it anymore. Usually when you come into this school, you are all about the grades. All about the grades and trying to get everything done at once. You don't have to do that. You really don't.
Personally, I think I'd be the best judge about my goals. So if I'm deciding between multiple opportunities or multiple commitments, I think about my end goal, and then I'll kind of analyze whether this opportunity is going to help me achieve my goal. That's personally how I manage my multiple commitments.
Curious if there's ever been a time where you feel like course difficulty really paid off? Like, this was hard, but this kind of needed to be hard.
Yeah, totally. There's a class that every bio major has to take. It's called Bio 1A, and it is really hard, but you leave with such a well-rounded understanding that it makes all the classes you take after way easier.
Berkeley is vast, exciting, and brimming with opportunity. So much opportunity that it's overwhelming. It's easy to say yes to everything.
It's okay to say no to an opportunity if you feel like it's not going to serve you or if it's going to get in the way of your other commitments or your own life.
It's easy to make Berkeley hard.
But is it still good to be working hard and still have that same attitude from high school of, I want to be the best? I think so.
But I think we learned something important today.
Are there any strategies you use to kind of take the stress off or keep on top of your workload?
I study a lot with friends, so that makes things more bearable.
However hard you think your classes are going to be,
to-do lists, use a Google Calendar.
they're going to be twice as hard as that, so plan accordingly.
I think office hours are very helpful.
Attend office hours. That's like a time when a GSI can individually focus on a student, and no question is a bad question.
You don't have to be incredibly going out every single day.
We have a lot of power over what our college experience looks like.
I'd say college should be all about exploration. I've been through so many domains. So I genuinely vibe with this kind of theory to like explore a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, it's going to be difficult. It could get a little bumpy as well.
And there's a whole bunch of people whose sole purpose here is to help you figure that out.
UHS basically stands for University Health Services. We have a really great center here on campus. Coaching for those of you who would like to know a little bit more about nutrition or like mental health wellness. We also have a lot of identity-based resources as well.
Feel free to contact the teaching team. Berkeley provides you with ample resources just to help you with your learning, right?
Berkeley is hard in a lot of ways, but I think one of the hardest things it does is forcing you to ask questions that are a lot deeper and thornier than the one we started this video with. Who are you, and what do you want?